So these next few videos, I'm going to try to make shorter because I realize the other ones are a little bit longer. So this is going to be my first offensive video. And before we even go into this video, what I want you guys to do is watch the Crooms Q1 video, 6 minute, 15 seconds to 6 minute and 45 seconds. I want you to watch that, whatever, 3, 4, 5 times. I think it's going to be super helpful for at least visualizing what we're trying to accomplish this year in terms of maintaining positional discipline. Very simple. These are all the players from last year in the rough position here. So Babs throws it into Kristen. Kristen passes it over to Lucy, and Lucy goes and scores. The reason why this goal happened is because Lucy maintained positional discipline. She could have squeaked in here. There's a player here. If she squeaked into here, this person would have guarded her. Instead, what she did is she stayed as wide as she could and gave Kristen a very fair option. Okay. So what we want to talk about in this video is when we get the ball, and we'll give an example of another decision Bab's going to make. When we get the ball, what is the first thing we do? So we're going to throw this ball in. So rather than throwing it to Kristen, let's pretend here that Babs throws this ball down. This was Talia and this is Evie. So pardon me, this is where Emlyn was. So if Babs throws this ball down to Talia and Talia swings it over to Evie, now we have the ball in the center part of our defense. And obviously they've got their defensive players. We're going to move those out for a moment. The first thing we want to do when we get started this year is get ourselves back into shape as quickly as possible. What is the shape we want to get into? So in this example, we're not going to move any all defensive players around. We're just going to give a visual example here. So in this example, Emlyn was the right back. She wants to drop back into the right back position. Talia can slide over. I think Babs is a pretty good spot. Our defensive holding mid drops. Our cam moves back into her position. Striker pushes up into their position. I think Lucy was in pretty good shape here. Our 8, which was Sarah, she's our attacking defensive mid. She supports the cam here, and the 7 stays wide. Now, pretty darn quickly, we're back into a semblance of our 4-2-3-1. Here's our rounded 4. Here's our 2 center players. They don't have to be flat like this 100%, but they can be a little staggered, right? We've got our cam. So here's our 3. We can just slide this over, and we're back into 1 almost immediately. So if we go back quickly and do this one more time, it can happen very, very quickly, right? So again, if you go back and watch this, the other option that Babs had was drop it to Talia, Talia over to Evie. Let's just say this. Then what do? Every person shift back into their position as quickly as possible, right? Now we're back into our position. And now, again, the defense is going to have to react to that. So it doesn't really matter where we're at on the field this year. So if we end up getting staggered and the 5 has the ball here, where are we supposed to be? Is the 6 over here? They really should be back over here to complement, right? Let's stay back in our formation. And we're just trying to move this formation as best as we can up the field in a systematic way. What we don't want to do, let me give you the opposite of this. Let's pretend our right back has the ball here. What we don't want to see is our 11 and 6, we're all crowded up in this area, right? No one has any space. Now you can put a couple defenders in here. You can basically take 3 or 4 defenders and guard this entire lot. I'm not talking a throw-in, and the throw-ins happen, and it gets kind of crowded on the sideline. But I'm talking a normal game situation, okay? So back to this situation here. If our right back has the ball, where is everyone supposed to be? The striker can push up. The winger pushes out top right. We'll ignore offsides for a moment. Our 6 really can drop back into this position. I know this is tougher. 8 can swing the support. Cam swings over. Right now, we're starting to create some more space here for our offense. So the first thing we want to do is once we get this ball in offense, the first thing is we want to get back into our 4-2-3-1 shape or some semblance thereof as quickly as possible. This is number 1. That means, am I finding open space? Am I out of position? If I'm out of position, how do I get back into my position quickly? How far do I have to move? Right, this type of thing. Number 2, am I moving when I'm not, and I don't have the ball? Am I moving? An example here is if number 11, we'll go back to here. There's no option that, let's say we pass this ball back. It looks here like we're kind of a crowded situation, and what happens is the 6 here is waiting for something to happen. Okay, we've maintained such a static position for so long. The 6 is waiting for this pass. We don't want to make this pass necessarily just backwards. We want to start pushing ourselves back up into into play? Am I moving into an open position to give this player a chance? So if the 6 moves up, 8 passes to the 6, one of these players in this point has got to make a decision. One of these two players. Let's just say it's their left back makes a decision to move here. The 9 can then pass to 11. We've got an opportunity. But that 11, even if their left back starts to move up a little bit, we're going to ignore offsides. This 11 can then make a run up here, back into this zone, which we'll talk about this in the next video. So we cannot maintain any static position. So quickly, in this scenario, the 6 has to make a run, 8 passes to the 6. This back moves up just a little bit, pass comes out here. This person pushes up. Do you stop running here? Absolutely not. Then everyone's got to push back up into their formation all over again. Now we're going to push back to 8 obviously can stay in her position. 6 moves up, 5 supports the 11, the 3 pushes up, 2 pushes up, and the 4 comes wide. But again, now we've got a rounded back 4, we've got our 2, we've got our 3, and then we've got our 1 immediately. So our goal is to maintain this shape as we move up and down the field. If we get too crowded, and I'm going to exaggerate here, everyone just gets shoved up in this area, it's just simply too crowded and is going to allow for their defense to go ahead and maybe use a few players to guard everybody. But in this situation here, right, we start pushing things around. Now we've got this opportunity for some space, okay? So if the 11 gets crowded here, they have a drop back down to the 5. The 5 dribbles up, right? 5 dribbles up, 11 can move wherever they want, 5 pushes up. Now we can keep possession of the ball and keep cycling the ball back around. Again, this is very simple. But again, as I walk through this, let me take a quick look here right through my notes. Are we getting back into shape as quickly as possible when we have the ball? Number 1. Number 2, am I finding open space? Am I moving without the ball? Can I be seen? Another thing that happens very often is if we have this situation, we move everybody out of here, this player can't be seen, right? This player over here cannot be seen. So this player, this 8, needs to find some space in here. Either got to make a run through here or has got to make a drop. But this has happened in a couple of these videos that this player is almost just invisible to this player over here, right? So am I calling for the ball? We talk about being verbal all the time. Got to raise your hand up and you tell whoever it is, hey, Lacey, make a drop here. Lacey can make a drop. This is Lacey, can make a drop all the way back in this position because obviously the 2 and 3, can see the entire field. Are we leading? Are our center backs being very verbal, letting everyone up here know, should we be shifting? Hey, let's get this ball to Macy. Let's get this ball to Sarah. Let's get this ball to somebody who's available, right? We got to make this shift. So when we have the ball, when we have the ball, the first question is, where should I be? And the first place you should be is back in formation, okay? That's it. So remember, the core formation, no matter where we are in the field, is going to look something like this, right? Something like this. And if we can maintain this sort of structure as we work ourselves up and down the field, we will do great. Same thing as I talked about, though, we want to maintain discipline as wide as we can. I'm going to keep jumping around. If it looks like this, we're in big trouble, right? That means the 5's got to come way out to the outside line. Okay, that's it. We're going to start the next video.